The transfer market is heating up. Brazilian talent. Vitor Reis draws attention from Manchester City. The transfer market is heating up once again, and another Brazilian talent has caught the eye of European giants. This time, it's young center-back Vitor Reis, just 18 years old, a product of Palmeiras Youth Academy, who is on the radar of Manchester City, the current Premier League champions. According to reports, the English club's offer could reach an incredible $40 million, equivalent to approximately $252.6 million. This figure would place the deal among the highest ever involving Brazilian defenders. But what makes Vitor Reis so special? And more importantly, how could this potential transfer impact Palmeiras, Manchester City, and Brazilian football as a whole? Let's break down each aspect. Palmeiras. Between sporting glory and financial temptation. In recent years, Palmeiras has established itself as a true talent factory, producing players who stand out not only in the national scene, but also internationally. However, dealing with European interest in its rising stars is always a dilemma. The Palmeiras management has already made it clear that they would prefer not to negotiate the young center-back before the FIFA Club World Cup in February. However, such a substantial offer may force a reassessment. After all, $40 million is not a figure to be easily dismissed, especially when the club holds 100% of the player's economic rights. This cautious stance highlights the importance of strategic planning when it comes to selling young talents. Beyond securing a significant financial deal, it's essential to ensure that the team remains competitive on the pitch. Vitor Reis's profile. Why is Guardiola interested? Since joining Palmeiras' first team in 2024, Vitor Reis has quickly gained prominence. Standing at 1.86 meters tall and boasting excellent game-reading ability, the young defender has attributes that set him apart from his peers. It's no surprise he was included in The Guardian's prestigious Next Generation 2023 list, which highlights the world's 60 most promising players. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has a track record of successfully developing young defenders. He did so with Aymeric Laporte and Nathan Ake, who have become key figures in his system. Now, the Spanish coach has his sights set on Vitor Reis, who seems to have the potential to thrive in one of the best defensive systems in the world. Currently, Manchester City's defense features experienced players like Ruben Dias and Kyle Walker, but renewal is essential. The arrival of Josko Gvardiol in 2023 was already a sign of this process. Now the focus is on bringing another young talent with room for growth, and that's where Vitor Reis comes into play. Impact on Palmeiras money in the bank, but what about the squad? If the sale goes through, the financial impact on Palmeiras will be enormous. Receiving $252 million from a single deal would significantly bolster the club's budget, allowing further investments in signings, infrastructure, and youth development. However, the sporting challenge would be to find a suitable replacement. Today, Vitor Reis is seen as the natural successor to Gustavo Gomes and Murilo, being a defensive pillar for the future. Historically, Palmeiras has always been a breeding ground for great defenders. The departure of such a promising youngster, however, would require quick adjustments to the squad. Is the club's management ready for that? Manchester City, Guardiola's long-term vision. Manchester City's interest in Vitor Reis is no coincidence. Guardiola values players with technical ability, tactical intelligence, and room for development. He knows that keeping City at the top of world football requires forward thinking. The acquisition of young talents is part of this strategy. By signing a player like Vitor Reis, the English club ensures a solid defensive line for years to come. Moreover, Guardiola has a history of working well with South American players, as seen with Gabriel Jesus. The Brazilian market, a new benchmark in the global scene. If the transfer is confirmed, the amount Palmeiras would receive would set a new benchmark for deals involving Brazilian center-backs. In 2022, São Paulo sold Lucas Beraldo to Paris Saint-Germain for $20 million. Now, Vitor Reis's potential transfer could double that figure. This shows that Brazilian clubs are increasingly valuing their assets. With well-structured youth academies and a growing international market interest, Brazil continues to be one of the world's leading exporters of football talent. Vitor Reis, a promising future in Europe? If Vitor Reis completes his move to Manchester City, he will have the chance to compete in one of the world's most competitive leagues, under the guidance of one of football's greatest managers. This experience could shape the young center-back into one of the world's best defenders. On the other hand, adapting to European football is always a challenge. Will the youngster have the maturity to handle the pressure? Judging by his development at Palmeiras, he seems more than ready. Conclusion: a game-changing deal for all parties involved. The potential sale of Vitor Reis is not just a multi-million euro deal. It represents a paradigm shift for Brazilian football, which is increasingly establishing itself as a hub for valuable talents sought after abroad. For Palmeiras, it's an opportunity to secure historic financial reinforcement. For Manchester City, it's a chance to bring in a promising defender to their star-studded squad. And for Vitor Reis, it's the beginning of a dream that could take him to the top of world football. The big question is, will all parties be able to maximize the benefits of this deal? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. Vitor Reis's name has already made it to the list of Brazilian players who are turning the international spotlight back to Brazil.